Hello, House of Metamorphosis Tribe. Welcome back to this channel where we're talking about transforming hairdressers from the inside out. And today's topic is about a long and a short consultation and the difference of them. And coming from an old model, we're looking at the old model of consulting, which is, how can I help you today? What can I do for you? And what did you want done with your hair? The three very simple questions that are asked in a short consultation. And therefore you derive the exact information that you need to support you and to create the look that your client is after and to serve them just with the hair. It's linear, it's effective, it gets the job done. And you're giving somebody a look that they've asked for with no context associated with it. It is something that's been practiced for decades, and I believe it has supported the industry for as long as it could. As you can tell by my little smile, I don't really fully agree with a short consultation, and I'll share with you why as I'm talking. And that's the reason being is that from the holistic lens, from the evolve lens, from the House of Metamorphosis lens, and from 25 years of me doing holistic hairdressing and more importantly transformational hairdressing, and being a qualified therapist and having the background of how to unpack the internal landscape with a client to meet their external reflection, to bring the inner and the outer worlds together. This is what I'm talking about. The depth and context to a long consultation, the value of that is that you align, you actually create authentic reflections for the soul of your clients. Now, of course, this conversation is only going to be relevant to you if you're interested and intrigued in how to create purpose and meaning to your work. This is not going to be a conversation for those of you that are working by the hour, want to get the job done, and actually just want to see to your craft and maintain the craft just where it is a status quo, right? Cutting hair, coloring hair, doing hair, that. This is more for you that are really interested in the human experience, are really interested in having more purpose and meaning to your work and understanding the complexities and the contextual arrangements that are required to align the internal landscape and the external landscape to give your client a congruent haircut. Let me say that again. How your client feels on the inside and who your client is on the inside needs to meet how your client walks out of your salon on the outside. That's what I'm talking about here. The two worlds meeting up. It's not like they're walking around with, there's a reflection, their head, their hair, their clothing. And the mismatch actually always occurs from not really, when you don't nail a haircut, it's not because you haven't nailed normally the technique. It's because you haven't nailed the client. You haven't understood who that person in your chair is. So in order to create congruent, aligned reflections, having a long consultation gives you the space and the grace to understand and contextualize the unpacking of your client's internal awareness, their authenticity, their soulful truth, to give you an in look, to give you a deeper look into who it is that you're creating for. So the long consultation takes time. I suggest that you spend at minimum 20 minutes in a consultation with your clients when you're doing Evolve. I spend an hour. So the first hour of a session with me is in a complete consultation of us unpacking your internal landscape and refining and defining who your authenticity really is, what it stands for, what it is that you need on the outside to reflect you in the world authentically. And let me tell you why this is important. It's important because when your clients go out into the world, if they're aligned, if they're congruent to who they are inside and out, they attract, they magnetize. Again, holistic language here guys, yeah? They attract, they magnetize people that are meant to be magnetized into their field, and vice versa. They magnetize into other people's fields that they're aligned with because they are in congruent alignment with themselves. They are authentic inside. They're not elusive. They're not pretending to be someone on the outside that they're not on the inside. They are completely, they're wearing themselves inside out, which is why I say transforming hairdressers from the inside out, because I wear my insides out. And when you look at me, let's use my reflection right now. When you look at me, the reason why I keep my hair so simple at the moment in plaits is because this is the simplicity of my internal autonomy and authenticity. This is my authenticity. This is the most comfortable hairstyle for me right now. It feels the most relaxed. I feel the most authentic and expressed in my authenticity when my hair is like this. Interestingly enough, when I wear my hair out, because my hair is down to my bottom, when I wear my hair out, I don't really align so much with my hair being out. It's a lot of hair. I've got a lot of hair, and it's really quite curly, and it sits quite long. So it feels like overwhelming. I feel very overwhelmed when my hair is out. Interestingly enough, I've had friends say, "So why don't you cut it?" And I'm like, no, because there's something about having it long. And this is, again, when we go into evolve, we look at the spiritual, connection to, the energy of long hair, and the information that it contains in it. And this is part of my sage. It's actually part of my archetypal sage and mystic. And that is part of my spiritual reflection as well. And, there's also part of my, I'm unpacking my whole internal landscape here for you so you can see, and then there's part of a past life experience of me of an indigenous, an Indian indigenous sort of like culture that I really resonate with, and I resonate with the spiritual aspect of that. But there's also, the cultural experience of this lifetime for me, which is being an Egyptian. So, because that's my background, that's my actual family is Egyptian. So it's like I'm mixed in between. So the authenticity of that is the long hair, the retaining of information and wisdom in my hair, of the energy of it, and also the reflection of authenticity of me having my hair braided and actually kept long still, but to maintain clarity and openness. And I really, really, really stand strongly for, not hiding at all behind, and I'm not judging or projecting or shaming anybody here. It's just that this is me, my authenticity. It's like I'm exposed. I don't believe in makeup. I don't believe in overdoing hair. I don't believe in over-processing hair. I believe that the most beautiful thing that we can do for any human being is to actually show up as our authentic self. So I stand for that. My whole being is a reflection of my authenticity in the world. This is who I am. I'm not hiding behind a mask, hiding behind hair. I'm just me. So reflectively, it's completely authentic to me. And sorry I went off on that tangent to express it, but you can't get that kind of information in a, how are you? How can I help you today? What are we doing with your hair? You can't get that depth of information to transform your client and to align them to their authenticity from 3 questions in 5 minutes. You cannot derive that kind of context and content in a short period of time. So in Evolve, my guys actually charge for that consultation time. It is packed into the service. So, they're moving from a basic, a basic session, which is an hour and a half, and the hour and a half now is charged for completely, including the 20 to 30 minute consultation. And the clients that they're seeing are interested in actually being reflected and unpacked authentically in that way, because this is what Evolve teaches you. Not only does it teach you communication and understanding archetypes and the rites of passage and the psychology of hairdressing and all of those things, it also teaches you how to unpack a client's authenticity and to allow, create a container where your clients feel safe enough to contextualize their authenticity in the space so that you can ethically align them to their truth from the inside out. So this is the reason why I stand behind the long consultation so much. And I'd love to hear your feedback about how you feel about, learning about a long consultation, because I'm thinking about running a short webinar with my tribe here that are watching this video, and to see who's interested in actually doing a short 1 hour live webinar to give you some tips and tricks, some tips and guide tools on how to create step into a long consultation, and then how to bring that into your salon service. And I really want to bring that because to support you from somewhere. And even though you don't understand yet, potentially, like if you haven't done Evolve and you haven't actually become a therapist, you don't really understand how to really contextualize the session. But there are ways that you can lengthen your consultation without doing that will support you creating authentic reflections for your clients. So please answer and share your feedback on this video. Let me know how you feel about wanting to be a part of this webinar, and I will set one up and share a message with you. If you share your email with me, I will share an email with you and letting you know when this is going to take place. But beyond that, take a breath. Drop in with your clients, take some time, slow it down. And I know, hairdressers are always pressed for time, but, try and bring in a slowing down your sessions a little bit more, and they'll make them more enjoyable for you as well. You won't feel burnt out at the end, and you won't be exhausted because you've been running on the clock and you've been time pressed. And you know the story, guys. You know the story because you're doing it. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you today. I hope it's found you well. And I hope that if this content, this conversation has inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Share it with people that you feel that may be inspired by this content. And more importantly, if you're further inspired by what I am talking about here and want to check out what we have at the House of Metamorphosis to transform you from the inside out, go to houseofmetamorphosis.au, book your free initiation call with me, and let's have a chat about how me and my team can best support you to become the hairdresser, the holistic hairdresser of the future that transforms people from the inside out. Outside of that, thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for being here and listening to the end. And I so look forward to having another conversation with you all very soon.